Rewilding is a concept that many people don't seem to properly understand. They see it as out of the way of any human influence, only a little bit of positive news you read on the phone in the morning. But in reality, the way we interact with rewilding can have a massive impact on its success. Now, to properly understand why humans have such a large impact on rewilding as a whole, we turn to this concept known as the value-action gap. Now, this can be a little bit challenging to understand at first, so once the paper has been introduced, and then we're working with an example, you'll be able to understand it much easier and understand where it fits into this whole rewilding concept. A 2024 study by Keifer Titus and other collaborators focused around Montana and how different people within these areas reacted to the reintroduction of wildlife onto shared lands. Whether it's farmers, conservationists, or even people living in cities, everyone has a different view on how far rewilding should be taken. The study was focused on the northern Great Plains of Montana, one of the last intact temperate grasslands left on the earth, making it even more vitally important to conserve. Recent efforts here to try and raise the biodiversity of the area have included the reintroduction of American bison and black-footed ferrets, along with wolves and grizzly bears being allowed to return. Titus and his team surveyed over 1,000 people, ranging from urban residents to local ranchers and conservationists. This gave them a broad understanding of the general consensus to people's opinions on rewilding in the Montana area. They found a recurring theme in their responses. While many people love the idea of ecological restoration in the northern Great Plains of Montana, they were opposed to a few ideas, such as the reintroduction of risky species, like grizzly bears and wolves. Why is this? This contrast between people's support for restoration and the hesitation to embrace certain reintroductions is a great example of something known as the value-action gap. This is the idea that what people tend to say they care about can often be vastly different to what they are willing to support or do. In the context of rewilding, this gap tends to come about when landowners or members of the wider community show support for restoration of wildlife, but then don't get involved or act on these morals. Through study, it was seen that stakeholders were more inclined to support conservation of species they preferred, potentially highlighting how much of an impact positive perceptions have on supportive attitudes. Ultimately, bridging the value-action gap isn't just about explaining rewilding more clearly. It's about ensuring conservation goals and human needs align. It's about making it seem more like a shared project, as rather than something out of society's control. If rewilding efforts are more accepted, not only are they likely to be way more successful, but also much more resistant to change in the future.